Wow, okay, dude. I mean, that episode was shorter than I expected, but the pacing was all over the place. First and foremost, the title, The Heiress. Upon seeing it, I instantly realized that the Bo-Katan rumors were true. Bo-Katan is indeed the rightful ruler of Mandalore, being the heiress of Clan Kryze. The leaks so far seem to be on point. Makes you wonder why so much stuff leaked during the second season, but not so much during the first. No wonder they kept the titles hidden until the episodes aired. They are extremely spoilery to the people in the know. First, the Marshal, and now this. I would just like to take a moment to appreciate what Lucasfilm is doing, much like in the first episode of the season. They are tying everything together by taking inspiration from all over the place, referencing things when the story calls for it. Too many nods can result in fan service, but I do not believe that is the case here. I do believe that this series acts as a testing ground for such an approach, and if it works, other creatives will also approach future narratives in such a manner. And it will work. This is the way. This shot, dude. I honestly lost it when I saw it. This is when I knew this was Bo-Katan. She had a very characteristic silhouette and a fighting style in the Clone Wars, and they completely nailed it. This totally feels like her. The moment you lay eyes on the character, you just know. It's Bo. I guess a lot of us were expecting or at least hoping for Sabine, but yeah, no. Sasha Banks is playing a completely different character. A Mandalorian still, but not Sabine. Her name is Koska Reeves, and she is a brand new character with no known backstory. I saw a lot of people speculating on her being an Inquisitor or a Jedi, some kind of Force user, based on the trailer. But it seemed pretty obvious to me that she's not gonna be a Force user of any kind. They would not tease a Force user in such a manner. It was an intended misdirection, as I said before. We already saw Mandalorians wearing cloaks in a similar fashion when blending in the 7th season of the Clone Wars, attempting to avoid third parties, potential enemies such as the Empire. Now, it was confirmed what I long suspected, that Din Djarin is a part of a separate, smaller tribe of Mandalorians. They refer to the Sith tribe as Children of the Watch, the term Watch clearly being a reference to Death Watch. It seems to me that there was a splinter group within Death Watch that recruited children, the Foundlings, and indoctrinated them from a very young age, much like First Order did with its stormtroopers. I do wonder if this was an initiative started by Darth Maul. I don't think Bo-Katan or Pre Vizsla were involved, given Bo-Katan's reaction. It seems like a kind of thing that Maul would do, utilizing Palpatine's teachings. Maybe Din Djarin will eventually be able to overcome this belief in the ancient way, as Bo-Katan puts it. It might be an interesting plotline to explore. Previously in the canon, I do not believe that ancient Mandalorians had to keep their helmets on, but I suppose now this might be canon. Perhaps it was Duchess Satine who changed it this way, and the more peaceful Mandalorians we saw in the Clone Wars were the first generation not to follow this rule. I suppose we will have to wait for an official confirmation if that is in fact the case. Based solely on Bo-Katan's dialogue, it seems that Mandalore is under occupation. I'm guessing the Empire still has control over it, and Gideon might be the one who is in control of that specific sector. Now, the series takes place after Battle of Jakku, which entails a lot of things. Battle of Jakku marked the end of Galactic Civil War, which resulted in a Galactic Concordance, a peace treaty between the New Republic and the Empire. According to this treaty, the Empire was supposed to stay away from the core regions, but guess what? Mandalore is on the fringes of the Outer Rim. The New Republic probably has no control over it. There is a lot of interesting backstory here to explore in regards to the Purge. Now, the Purge occurred like a few years back in the wake of the Galactic Civil War. Bo-Katan and Gideon clearly have some shared history together, and it does seem likely that Gideon was the one who stole the Darksaber from her. She was probably captured by the Empire at some point and later managed to escape. Maybe Ahsoka was the one who helped her given their history that goes all the way back to the Siege of Mandalore. I'm I'm guessing we might find out more about all this in the Rebels sequel, whatever it may be. I just have to once again appreciate how awesome Katie Sackhoff looked as Bo-Katan. This makes me so excited for the next episodes and the eventual appearance of Ahsoka. Yep, Ahsoka was actually mentioned in this episode. Jeez, this is actually going to happen. The planet that is being mentioned by Bo-Katan, Corvus, was never in canon before. On a side note, Corvus was the name of the ship that Inferno Squad operated from, but it does not relate to the planet itself mentioned in Mando in any way. The city, Calodan, was also never mentioned in canon, nor in Legends. I do wonder what Ahsoka is doing on this planet exactly. This opens up a whole new Pandora's box with millions of questions and potential narratives. I will dive more into them in the upcoming videos. This is it for this breakdown. I will definitely make more content regarding all this. Just wanted to share my initial thoughts with you all. I will post daily in the upcoming weeks, so stay tuned for that. May the Force be with you, always.